Alright, so as I promised, I am going to record myself every single day. I'm just literally going to point the camera at me and find things to talk about. Get myself comfortable to documenting this process. To start off with a daily video, something like this, where I can share and I can communicate whatever might be going on, what's on my mind, things I learn, people I meet, whatever types of stuff is going on. And I'd like to begin to get more advanced into this, to be able to be using every social media channel, to use Instagram Live and LinkedIn and Snapchat and Facebook. And yeah, I'm just getting started with this here. So one of the things that I know has been really on my mind, and I've heard on the mind of a lot of the people that I have around me, is about positivity, about being able to stay focused. I'm somebody that I've been given feedback on multiple occasions that I'm overly positive or optimistic. That is something where even when things are going horrible, I don't typically have a frown on my face. It's not that I can't. For the longest time, actually, I was just constantly depressed and suicidal and just in a really, really bad place. And I was always frowning, always sad. And the fact was, that wasn't a fun way to live. I didn't enjoy that. And over the years, since I've been an adult, I have just found that, yeah, things may be shitty, things might go wrong, it may not go your way. But the fact is, there's always something positive to be like. I've dealt with some really unfortunate circumstances. I'm sure in future videos I'll go into more details. At the same time, I've seen some messed up things and been through some messed up things. And the fact is, every single day that we wake up, every single day we wake up and are able to take a breath, are able to see, like to witness the world around us, that we're able to communicate with another human, whether it's virtually or physically. It's something that is something to be grateful for, to hold as a blessing. I say that because a lot of times in this series, more likely than not, I'll be talking about topics that may be kind of dark, maybe kind of sad, maybe kind of difficult. And the fact is, I have just kind of naturally got this this interesting style where I try my best. And I say try because I don't always succeed. I do get affected emotionally, and I do get sad and especially angry and all types of other things. But I do my best, even when I talk about things that are difficult, like the situation I'm in now, to be able to still smile. Because it's not to make jest of a bad situation. It's not to make it less important. It's not to be able to say that it's something to be joked about. It's simply because if we're going to have to show up in life, anyway, like so long as we're alive, we're going to have to show up in some type of way. We're going to have to take actions. We're going to have to say things. There's going to be some type of a presentation that we will have to show up in. I want to do so in a positive way. Like, why be sad about it? Why hold on to a bunch of shit that happened in the past, mistakes that were made, misinterpretations or conceptions that can happen? Like, there's no point. I would rather be able to learn, to take each moment as a blessing and with gratitude. I say this because it's something where, when I think about where do I go next? What happens? So at this stage, there's been a lot of failure. And it's something where I used to beat myself up a lot about it. Like, I was beyond depressed, hanging on to a thread, all the different messed up suicidal thoughts and tendencies and shit that I felt I mostly overcame as an adult came back. I've since been able to overcome that, thank goodness to my friends and my family and the training I've put myself through over these years. Again, these will be things I talk about in the future. But I say this because it was recently, I think yesterday, maybe the day before, I was watching a Gary Vee video, and it really made me think. He was talking about your 20s. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, if you're in your 20s, this is the time to make a startup and go fuck up. Fail. Make a startup and fall on your fucking face. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, having just been through an epic, crazy, legendary, miserable failure, that doesn't sound too awful. That's an interesting perspective. Why, Gary? And I like the way he worded it. And again, I wish I had the video still. If I find it, I'll be certain to share it. At the same time, it's something where he was describing that we got to get out there and learn and to grind and to try new things. And if you're not failing, you're probably not doing a whole hell of a lot. And in this case here, it's something where Medusa Marketing and Kraken Design Co., those were my first real startup companies, like companies that had actual staff and systems and customers and things like that. And before that, it's always just been various different hustles that were monetized through a corporate structure of some type, but not an actual company. I say that because this was a lot of what led me down the path and decided to do what I'm doing now. It's because it's something where what he describes is that if you really want to be massively successful, if you want to do something great, something big, something that's going to be meaningful and worthwhile and lasting in the world around us, you need to be ready to eat some shit, as he calls it. Go through a period of time that may not be so fun. When you make money, put it right back into the business. Instead of going out and partying and doing whatever the heck with your friends, study, learn, stay ahead of the curve, find new opportunities and new ways to be able to get closer in the direction of your dreams. He said to do this, but not for a short term, to do it with the spirit of patience, to be willing to set aside 5 to 10 years to grind, to document your journey, to be active, incredibly active on every social media platform, and to be able to watch your growth to build a brand. That's what I'm wanting to do. That's the direction I'm in. Because the fact is that in order to be able to get where I want to go to, which one of the first things is to move past the damages of last year, I have to make a lot of money. Like at this point, it might be right around $1 million that I have to make in order to make things right. To pay everybody back, to unfuck the situations that are fucked, things like accounting and legal and all kind of stuff, about $1 million. So that means if I wanted to make this happen, I need to make an extra $1 million. And that shit was stressful. And it was something where it was like, okay, well, how do I make an extra $1 million? Like I made $1 million gross last year, but damn sure wasn't net. I didn't have that to play with. In fact, the vast majority of it I spent on stupid shit, like really, really expensive counsel or employees that I had no idea what they were doing, no systems, no procedures, just hiring people for the sake of hiring people because the people I had trusted for management said that we need to have them. Buying a big-ass industrial machine for tens of thousands of dollars as opposed to finding someone who knows about the industry and finding out how we can do it for a more affordable price. Like there's so many different mistakes that were made, and to be able to make that back won't happen fast. And listening to Gary reminded me of something that a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, have struggled with. Because we chase after this big, hairy, audacious goal. And it's something where it's wonderful to make the next app, to make the next innovative, crazy, high-tech thing, gizmo, gadget, widget, lotion, potion, whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. That's awesome to go for the millions of dollars. But the fact is that if you can't survive, if you're not able to keep a roof over your head or food on the plate, you're not going to do any good for anybody. And to be able instead to look at it as how can you find some solution, how can you hustle, how can you create something that sets you free? If you're in a 9-to-5, how do you get out of that? If you're in a position like myself and you're an entrepreneur that's barely making it, how do you get to where you're standing up consistently? And then when you're there, to keep on building, to keep reinvesting, to keep learning. That is sustainable. Because it's something where I look at it as, and it's on my mind constantly. How do I make things right? How do I make $1 million? And the fact is, it's not just $1 million, it's an extra $1 million. The fact is I make that extra $1 million from everything I'm seeing by not focusing on that $1 million right now. By focusing instead on how do I add value? How can I create an income stream? How can I empower other people? How can I solve more problems? How can I learn more and apply it instantly? By doing these things, it will create the incremental steps to make this happen. The reason why I bring this video up, or the reason why I bring up this concept, is because there is someone that I really look up to and respect. someone that's a brilliant, brilliant business executive. He's a man that I had hired previously. If you're watching this, you know exactly who you are. I'll keep it confidential for the sake of saving face. But he's somebody that, quite frankly, I had being paid a massive amount in our company, simply for the fact that he needed it for a very expensive lifestyle he was accustomed to from his previous stuff. Again, dumb shit you shouldn't do if you're running a startup. If you're not able to afford somebody, then it's not the right timing, it's not the right fit. Find somebody who makes sense and understands the vision of what you're doing and is willing to invest to build with you. In this case here, it didn't happen. So it's something in the range of tens of thousands of dollars that was not able to be paid for him. And he was continuing to fall with us, continued to grind for a while. And he came recently and just out of the blue, was describing how, oh, Anna, I need this, you promised this, and I'm expecting a response within 24 hours, therefore I need you to pay this back because of something going on in his life. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, bro, speak to me like I'm a human. I'm expecting a response within 24 hours. We're not robots, and we're not attorneys unless that's the battle you're wanting to get into right now. And we had a conversation, and it ended up being quite cordial. And during this conversation, again, this is a man with decades of experience, done brilliant, amazing, powerful shit that was in a sticky ranging in the tens of thousands of dollars, which is what I owe him. So he was hoping that I just had that lying around, because I guess that seems reasonable. Obviously it's not the case. And he was saying, okay, well, when do you think you can get it back? The answer is, I don't know. Ask any startup entrepreneur, when will you make your first million? Who knows? No one knows. But by being able to create these incremental steps, it makes it to where then you can start to have a roadmap. You can start to see your progress and how far you've come, and you can begin to calculate and predict when will you be able to make certain things happen. This is a powerful lesson because it's something where entrepreneurs, people who are creating startups or own a startup or thinking about making a startup, start from the basics. Yes, you might want to make $5 million this year, make $1 million this year, make $100,000 this year, whatever your number is. But break that down. Look at the individual steps. With this man here, I asked him, I said, well, you know what? Maybe we can work together. You have a certain skill set that I believe I can monetize. I have a network that I believe that I can sell this offer to. Why don't we collaborate? Revenues that come in, you'll take your share at the top as an override, and I'll make my share in the back end, therefore allowing you to start getting paid. He was not down. He was like, well, I can't see myself doing that because I already worked with you before and I haven't gotten paid back yet, so I'm going to decline. I said, okay, wonderful. And he asked me, when will I get paid again? I said, I don't know. If you needed to make $1 million and you didn't do it fast, how would you do it? And he said, I have no idea. Yeah, this is a man who has made, for the companies he's worked for, hundreds of millions of dollars. And I asked him, how would you do this yourself? He had no clue. He told me, if I knew, I would do it myself. Think about it, guys. How many friends do you have that are maybe in business, starting a business, thinking about starting a business, that are giving advice, that are telling you what to do, giving you an expectation, asking you questions like, oh, you're still doing that business thing, huh? How's that going? It's been 2 years. How much money have you spent? How much time have you spent? Man, when are you going to give up on that? How long do you really want to keep going, man? Why don't you just get another job? Why don't you just try something different? You're going to hear all of this unsolicited bullshit from people who are not where you want to be in life. And I say this because it's something where this happens to be a man I have a lot of respect for. A man who has actually accomplished legendary shit. And even in that experience and power, he still had no idea how to do the thing that is required to really get back to where we need to be. If that's the case, then the people that might be talking and whispering in your ear, making you wonder, how long should you keep going? How long should you be persistent? When should you give up? How much should you invest? It goes right back to what Gary Vee was talking about. Be willing to eat shit for 5 to 10 years. Give content away for free. Don't create some wall, give just enough information to get people interested and charge them $1,000 to get the rest. Give the information away for free. Offer massive value, build a brand, and study and work your dick off. If it takes 15 hours a day, do it. If that means you're not hanging out with friends, if that means you're not going out as much as you'd like, do it. That's what I'm doing. That's the path that's happening. And I've learned the hard way, guys. Whoever may be listening, and again, this is meant for friends, family, and the future. So if you are watching this and you happen to gain value, thank you. I would humbly suggest, fuck what other people are saying. If people give you the expectation, oh, you should be getting rich in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, fuck that. You have your path. Start somewhere, start where you are, make an improvement, get free first. If free is $30,000 a month, get free there. I know for myself, living in a third world country at the moment, free for me is about $1,500 a month. $1,500 to $2,000 a month is solid to be able to live a reasonable lifestyle out here. So my first objective is to make that much money so I can at least breathe. It's then going to be able to support the team of people that has continued to line with me. Then it's going to be able to expand to build a stronger, consistent revenue stream. Whatever that is to you, focus on that and then go to the next step. And that big, hairy, audacious goal, mark my words, it is now March 26th, 2019. And you can see from my video yesterday, I've got a couple $100 to my name. I will make millions of dollars this year. I will do whatever it takes to make that $5 million in revenue this year. And I'm going to do so by following the direction of exactly what Gary Vee talked about. Dropping massive value, consistent content, documenting the process, being willing to reinvest and not get distracted by bullshit. Fall on your own sword is what he described it. I fell on my own sword, and I can still stand tall and smile because I know that I'm moving the right direction. When I failed, it's because I allowed other people to whisper in my ear and dictate how to run the business, my own company, how I should manage things, who I should hire to lead, how much I should spend for different initiatives. I'd say 60% of the shit that I did, spent money on, people I hired, wasn't even my own belief. It wasn't even my own ideas or desires. It's because I didn't believe in myself enough as a CEO, as a leader, to be able to follow what I thought would be best. I just trusted blindly the decisions of others, and that was my demise. That was my downfall. And so Gary Vee, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for teaching that lesson of falling on your own sword, because I can say from experience that I wish to God that I was willing to follow my own path, my own beliefs, and what I thought was right. And if it failed, to know that I fell on my own sword, because I fell on someone else's sword last year, and that shit sucks. Right now, living where I'm at, in the position I'm in, this is my own sword, and I feel great about it, because I know that I can continue to build and to grind, and I know that anyone else who is pursuing something, who believes in something, that you can do it too. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you gained value from it. If you have anything you want, questions you want to ask, feedback, I'm looking to improve. I'm looking to get better and better every single day. So please drop something positive, drop something interesting in the comments. I'm Anand Houston, and until next time, bye for now.